It's Mark from Top Local Lead Generation. We're here with John Nieuwenburg. He's a business coach in Vancouver, one of the top ones in the country. John, how are you doing today?
I'm terrific. Thanks for asking. Thanks for the lovely introduction.
So we're going to talk about something that we've talked about a few times. Can your business run without you? How do you figure that out?
Well, that's the holy grail, isn't it? Business owners would love the opportunity to have a business that runs successfully without them. And, you know, the sort of ideal that business owners hold is to have time and money freedom, meaning that they have, they're able to choose with how they spend their time and have the money to do as they wish. So, you know, if you are thinking to yourself that if your business couldn't survive without you being there for 3 months, then your business can't run without you. And what that's going to mean is that, you know, one of the goals that many of my clients have is the ability to go away for something like a month or even 3 months and live the remote lifestyle. Maybe you're down south or on your boat, or you know, at your cabin, and you get to enjoy your business, check in with it, and see that it's still running successfully. So a couple of thoughts. This is related to a blog post I just posted on the weekend and thought this would be a suitable topic. And one of the metaphors is, does your business have a Lego-like set of instructions? And what that means, of course, is that when you give, you know, your child or someone's child a set of Lego, it comes with a set of instructions. And that set of instructions is so complete that, you know, your 5-year-old, your 10-year-old child can go ahead and build something. And if your business needs you to be there every day in order to successfully have the business start off that day, your production facility or your retail store, then the way you need to replace that is by having a system or training in place that can operate while you're not there. Let me give you a different metaphor. How do they get those French fries to taste the same, whether they're made in Hong Kong, Moscow, or in Vancouver? And those French fries are made by a 16-year-old, and that 16-year-old's parent can't get him or her to clean their own bedroom. How do they do that? Well, they have a fantastic system and a fantastic set of instructions that nearly everyone can be taught and hold to a standard of how to reproduce those French fries time and again. And that's the goal that you'd want to have for yourself in your business, is nearly everything can be converted into a system so that others can do it for you. And in case you're wondering, well, gee, what about, you know, I have a business that is a professional services business, then, you know, what about the woman who did the PowerPoint presentation for, I just drew a blank. For Al Gore in the movie that he's famous for. And that woman couldn't scale her business because she couldn't find a way to get others to do the work while in her place. And she developed a system, wrote a book, developed a system, and now she can have multiple people developing presentations that are as good as Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth. So even a professional services business can be systematized to the level that others can run it for you. So if your goal is to get time and money freedom, to get a business that runs without you, that allows you to do with your time as you wish, and even if that's running the business, that's fine, then you might like to get some assistance, or at least let's have a chat. There's probably something that I can help you with. So thanks, Mark.
So let me just ask one, or make one little point, I guess. I know that when you first laid this out for me, it was overwhelming. It was, and in a lot of ways, it still is in certain pieces of my business, because it's a boatload of work. But I'd kind of add to that work is worth doing even though it's a boatload, or even though, you know, the climbing the mountain looks impossible, but it's really different when you get to the top. What's your experience been with that? With
Well,
climbing?
it's definitely daunting. Definitely, it's a boatload of work, and there's, first of all, you have to have the vision, you have to have the motivation and desire to make that change happen. But let me tell you a story of a colleague of mine who owned a house in Chicago, and their family decided they were going to move from Chicago to Charlotte because to enjoy a better lifestyle and better weather and that kind of thing. So their house was in a lovely part of Chicago in Lake Forest, which is one of the, sort of high-end homes, executive homes, and they put their house up for sale. And a year later, it still hadn't sold. And when they checked the feedback, they could see that while the house was fantastic and it was in a fantastic location, the common feedback on the notes was that the house was dated because they'd lived there for 20 years and it was still had the tastes and finishings from 20 years ago. So they made the difficult decision to pull the house off the market, renovate it, and then put it back on the market. And lo and behold, of course, the house sold almost immediately. And my friend tells the story of feeling somewhat bitter about it all because he felt like he was taken advantage of by the buyer. And so, this relates back to your question of it's a daunting task. Well, so is taking on the renovation of a home. And many of us put it off and put it off and put it off. And yet we keep putting it off. And at the end of the day, wouldn't it have been better for my friend to have renovated the home 10 years ago, enjoyed the home for 10 years, and then sold it while it was still relatively fresh? Well, that's the thing. You got to make a decision. As a business owner, you can do it today, pay the price, and then enjoy the benefit of it for as long as you own the business. Or you can put it off and continue to work at your business, but every day, like grains of sand slipping through your fingers, you're losing the opportunity to get that time and money freedom. So you can pay me now or you can pay me later, I think is the answer to your question. When do you want to do the hard work?
Right. So if you're looking for a business coach who just tells it like it is, we'll give you the steps to follow the path. This is the guy to talk to. John's in Vancouver, but he works with customers around the world. You can get in touch with him at john@w5coaching.com or check out his website. Tons of information on there, w5coaching.com. Thanks, John.
Thanks very much, Mark. Just as a note on that, my call earlier before our call today was with someone in South Africa. So we can do this coaching thing from wherever you're located. Location is not a challenge anymore.
Thanks, John.
Cheers.